The Piston Fanatic. I'm your host, Dave Dalton, and I'm excited to share my passion and perspective of our Detroit Pistons as we go on this fantastic voyage together. I've been a die-hard Piston fan since the days of Dave Bing and Bob Lanier. I've also been the varsity basketball coach of a very successful program in northern Michigan. Thank you for staying and listening. I appreciate every one of you that's been a loyal listener. And our Pistons won tonight. So they won. They beat the Wizards in Washington, 96-87. And I'm not going to lie to you, the first time this year that I actually didn't care if our team won or not. So I'm happy we won, but if we wouldn't have won, so we're fighting for last place, and it can make a difference in the draft. We do need to win games, but now if Washington had won this game tonight, they would have been in the driver's seat. So now we have 13 wins and they have 14 wins. And so they've won three of their, before tonight, they had won three of their last four. And the only one they lost in their last four was to Brooklyn, and they lost in overtime. So they've been kind of on a roll lately. But yeah, now we're one game away, and we got some winnable games, and we have Cade and Ivy and Duren all playing, so we have a chance. We play Monday against the Grizzlies, and they're a little bit struggling and banged up and stuff, so we'll see. That game is the last home game, I think, but I'm not sure if it's going to be on TV. I'm not sure what they said, that it's not. You can watch it on Valley Sports streamed, or I don't know how you can watch it, but we might not be able to watch it. I hope I can. So anyway, it was a fight with the Wizards. We had a 19-point lead at halftime. How many 19-point leads have we had at halftime this year? And it got cut in a hurry in the start of the third quarter. So it was tough. The Wizards went on a 15-2 run to start the third quarter. So the lead went from 19-8 in a hurry. So the Wizards were favored by 4 to win the game tonight. It was -4. So they'd won 5 of their last 11, and when you won 5 of your last 11, and when you've won only 14 games all year, you're really on a hot streak. So, but Cade Cunningham, 33 points. He did take 33 shots, the most shots he's taken in his career. His career high before this was 27. Before I get going any further, though, big news. Shams Charania just tweeted that Quentin Grimes is going to be out for the remainder of the year, and it's just bad news because he doesn't have to have surgery, but he had a bone bruise. He had knee in January, and then he's had muscle soreness, and so he's just going to rehab the rest of the year. But here's what that does. First of all, we miss having a player who is a great. I was so excited that we got him, and I still am positive that he is going to be a good player. But it just makes things more complicated because he is. We can extend him this summer, and he's eligible for an extension, but I wouldn't extend him to a lot of money. I mean, we don't get to see what he's all about, and I mean, we know kind of what he's all about. So will he take less money than what he would have gotten had he played well the rest of the year? We'll see, but we don't have to pay him. We don't have to extend him this summer. So he's a restricted free agent at the end of next year. So no matter what, so if he balls out next year and he's incredible, we still can match anybody's offer. So that's the good thing. He's only 24 years old. He's been a high 30s or low 40s three-point shooter in his brief career. He's a dog on defense, and so I hope he's just the kind of guy that you want to have on your team. And I liked him. I wanted the Pistons. I didn't think the Knicks would ever give him up. So they got some good. They got this new guard that's really tearing it up though over there. So the Pistons went ahead 80-70 even later in the game, and in the second half, and then the Wizards went on 11-0 run. So there were a lot of runs in this game. So that we went from 80-70, and then all of a sudden they're up 81-80. So Pistons started out the fourth quarter 1 for 10. So that got nervous. They took the lead briefly. So it was tough, but it's fun to win, and it's good for winning. And then Duren, 20 points, 18 rebounds, 3 steals, and even better, 3 blocks. So he hasn't had many 3-game blocks. That's the one thing everybody talks about, how bad his defense is. It's surprising that out of all the games he's played, that he doesn't just have an occasional good game or occasionally block a shot. Like I said, he averages less than 1 block a game. So that was good to see him block shots. But the best block of the night was Cade blocking Jordan Poole on the fast break. So that was phenomenal. Looked like Poole had a breakaway, and Cade even flexed a little bit, and he was pretty fired up after he made that block. So that was an exciting play. Um, yeah, Monty said, that the team's been a joy to work with and that they've stayed positive. They work hard at practice. They work hard at the shoot around. They like each other. And he said they're fun to be around. And he's been around a lot of bad teams that haven't. So another thing I want to, if you listen to the last episode, I talked a lot about a whole bunch of players that have been ups and downs, and then the narrative around the league, and that I listen to all these podcasts as, this guy's good, then this guy's no good, then he's good, then he's no good. And a guy that's just like that is Jalen Green. So there's been a lot of talk back and forth because he was in the same draft as Cade, and there was some talk that maybe we would have taken him ahead of Cade. And I'm going to tell you, at that time this year, I would have said that the Rockets are not going to give him an extension. I was sure they wouldn't give him an extension, a rookie max extension. And there's talk a lot this winter and before the trade line, would they trade him? Because he didn't shoot a good percentage his rookie year, and then he shot even worse last year, and then he was shooting bad this year. And he takes bad shots. He goes so fast. He's a freak athlete, and he misses a lot of shots because they're high 100 miles an hour and they're difficult shots. And he never seemed to care about defense or passing too much. But it's funny how things happen. So the Rockets have Alfred Şengün, who is everybody in the league has been raving about him and how he's one of the best centers and he's going to be an all-star and that he's their best player. I mean, I've heard all that stuff over and over again. So the Rockets started out really great this year, and they were right up there in the playoff hunt, and then they had a big, big slump. And then all of a sudden now, Şengün gets hurt. They've won 10 out of 11, I think. And they're being fueled by Jalen Green. In the last 14 games, Green has averaged 28 points, 6 assists, shooting a little over 50%, 43% on threes, and like 90% on free throws. So he is playing like an all-star. And so again, there's just it's fascinating. You follow all these players again, especially these young players that were taken in the top of the draft the last 3 years, and get to see how the narrative on them goes up and down, their play goes up and down. And that's what we got to realize about our Pistons. So I talked about that a little bit, especially with Ivy. And Ivy had, just not a great game again tonight. He is just struggling to shoot. And, he's had quite a long streak of bad shooting, but, he's shown way more signs of positive shooting. And I don't know. I keep hoping every game that he's going to turn it around. I have confidence in him, and I know a lot of you don't, and I don't blame you if you don't have if you've watched him. I don't blame you for thinking that he's not going to be good, but I just think he works hard. I think he's gifted, and he's a freak athlete, and he can, he's shown signs of shooting good. He's shown signs of finishing at the rim good, and so we'll just have to wait and see. I think I talked about this a little bit. His trade value is low, and so I would think so. But somebody might be interested. So it's just that's what trades are all about. Everybody wants to do this trade, and we can't keep the core four together because they don't fit together. And maybe you're right. I'm not gonna argue. I wouldn't argue for a second, but it's just, are we going to get something better for them? Are we better off to try to wait? And if the right deal comes along, I'm for any deal. So another thing I wanted to talk about is Asar. A real encouraging thing. I think I shared with you that I love to watch the Rockets play, just so I can watch a men play. Even when Asar was playing, I love to watch the men play because it reminds me of Asar. But he has been, in this win streak, he has been incredible. I think he had 2 games where he had like 25 points and 10 rebounds. Amen Thompson, he doesn't get to handle the ball all the time. Green has the ball all the time. They got a lot of guys that handle the ball, but he's still really contributing to winning. He's playing great defense. He does a lot of those things, but it just shows if he can do it, Asar can do it. And again, they're twins. They're not. It doesn't guarantee because one can do it that the other one's going to do it, but they certainly have shown a lot of the same skill set and the athleticism. And the thing that I love about them is they both want to play defense. So defense is something that a lot of players, even older players. You hear about like LeBron. He used to be a great defender, and now he doesn't care as much about it. He's older and he can't get up to play defense all the time. And even Durant was a great defender considered at one time, and then his defense is slack. But you can't necessarily play with the same energy when you get older. But the desire also leaves you. But those guys, they love to play defense. So anyway, we'll take a flash through the box score. Amawa played 33 minutes. Obviously, I like him, but the coach obviously likes him to play him 33 minutes. He was 2 for 3, 4 for 4 on free throws, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 8 points. Um, and then Brown Jr., he played 19 minutes, 1 for 4. He's struggled to shoot. He was 1 for 2 on threes. He made a wide open 3, 1 for 2 on free throws, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, 4 points. Duren, monster game, 33 minutes, 9 for 12. So it's a good percentage. And he was 2 for 2 from the line, but 18 rebounds, 2 assists, 3, like I said, 3 steals. But my favorite part of his game was 3 blocks. My least favorite part of his game was his 3 turnovers. So he loves to play. He loves to play with Cade. And I talked about it before the season started that our best offense was going to be the pick and roll with Cade and Duren. I said that before we played a game. And it is still kind of one of our best offenses. But Ivy played 37 minutes, and he was 5 for 17, which isn't good. And he was only 1 for 6 on threes. So that's not good. But he still got to the line 5 times, 5 for 5, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. And so that, and only 1 turnover. So that he contributed to winning. I mean, I don't know if I got that wrong. He had 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Sorry about that. But and only 1 turnover, 13 points. So Metu, 26 minutes. He wants to shoot, but he can't. He's 2 for 9, 0 for 4 on threes. I'm not sure if he ever was a good 3-point shooter. 1 for 1 from the line. He shows some signs of he's tough, but I don't know if he can shoot or not. But Wiseman had a bad game, so he hasn't had a bad one in a long time. He didn't get to play much, 13 minutes only, but he was 0 for 3 and only 2 rebounds. Playing against Marvin, they called an offensive foul on him that was kind of shaky, but he had 4 fouls. So Flynn played 14 minutes, 1 for 3, and 0 for 2 on threes, 1 for 2 from the line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 turnover. So Fournier, though, he's been struggling, man. Can't knock down a shot, and then tonight he came through down the stretch, and Monty played him with the closing lineup, and he was 4 for 6, 25 minutes, 2 for 4 on threes, 0 for 2 from the line, which is surprising, but 2 rebounds, 10 points. So he helped win. Both teams shot 41%. Both teams shot bad. I get to hear Tim McCormick and those guys talk about how tough they were, and they played great defense, and they probably did. But it's also 2 teams that aren't very good and 2 teams that were bad on offense. So we shot 25% on threes. They shot 27% on threes. But here's the thing that happened for the Pistons that doesn't happen. We were 16 for 20 on free throws, and they were 6 for 8. So that was the difference in the game. And usually it's the reverse. Rebounding was 48 to 47, basically the same. And they turned it over 18, and we turned it over 13. They made some dumb, bad turnovers. But here they have their 2 most talented players who have been in this little mini streak that they've been winning, Poole and Kuzma, combined 8 for 37. So they were really bad. And there was a little bit of trash talking, I think, going on between Cade and Poole. But Marvin was marvelous tonight. Our boy Marvin Bagley. He 27 minutes, 15 points, 7 for 9, and he had 11 rebounds and 2 blocks. So that is a great game. And he did the same thing for us when he was with us. So anyway, I don't know what's going to happen. I hope I get to watch the game Monday. I don't know if it's going to be televised or if I'm going to have to try to figure out a way that I can watch it. But I always appreciate you, and I always appreciate you hanging in there and listening. But be the reason that someone feels cared for, and go Pistons.